Perfect. Well, thank you all for taking the time to join. I know we're kind of calling in from all over the world right now, some West Coast, East Coasters, and in Europe. My name is Mamie. I'm hosting our coffee chat today. I currently lead design here at TheyDo, and I'm really excited to, yeah, spend this next, 45 minutes, hour, highlighting some of the improvements the team has made just within the last couple of months and to give a sneak preview as to what the teams are working on next. And the theme for our conversation today is really exploring what are all of the different ways that we're trying to tackle how to make the creation, management, and viewing experience of building blocks within your customer journeys a much more impactful experience. So we're going to cover everything from some small, mighty improvements, which is what we call kind of the everyday small UX things that bothers us, and I'm sure bothers all of you, all the way to some of our big investments in how we're evolving our journey AI. So let's go ahead and dive in. I kind of talked a little bit already about what we're covering today, but I'd also just want to, call out the fact that these coffee chats are also a way for us to kind of understand what is top of mind for all of you. If there's any questions or topics that particularly would like to discuss, especially with myself, who kind of has been helping us in design strategy and designing our experiences within TheyDo. I'm here to help answer any questions or all of that. So either share in the chat, or if you're excited to share out loud, feel free to do so. I'd love to kind of walk through what we've covered, what I've prepared to cover today, and then just make it kind of a free-flowing conversation. So go ahead and ask in the chat if there's any topics, but if not, I'll get started. I am also trying something new today, which is I'm actually going to fully present all of our content today using TheyDo. I thought, what better way to surface all of the opportunities and insights that the team is working on than to just do it within our own product. So let me make this a little bit bigger. If you have questions, by the way, feel free to just unmute and ask directly, but I'll just keep talking and keep showing things until the end. So like I said earlier in the call, one of the big focus areas for us this year as TheyDo is we really want to support not only the workflows of building out your customer journeys, but also to support bringing in all of your qual and quantitative data. And I'll get to that part a little bit later, because I think that's some exciting stuff coming up for what's next. But with all of this data that we're encouraging all to bring into TheyDo, we have to continue investing in how you add, map all of these different insights and opportunities to your journey. How do we speed up updating of building blocks, and as well as connect more research data and evidence to your work? And so the team has been busy at tackling this in the last couple of months, and I wanted to start sharing some of the things that we've recently shipped. So out of curiosity, you can raise your hand, emoji. Has anyone tried our new Journey AI features within TheyDo for any of their workflows? Cool. Thanks, Jonathan. Amazing. Well, let me just quickly walk through what Journey AI looks like for TheyDo today. So our big focus has been, how do we support making your research workflows a lot, reduce the cycles of when you actually conduct the research to actually acting on the research to feel the business impact. And from a lot of what we've seen, and I'm sure every day your workflows too, is that those cycles can be really long, right? We go through a lot of synthesis in Miro and FigJam, maybe a tool like Dovetail, to capture, to identify quotes, to then synthesize those into themes. And so as we were exploring how AI can fit into our platform, we really wanted to kind of narrow in on that part where, today running research can look like starting a research plan to actually like seeing it come through in product. Those cycles are very, very long. And so how do we make it easier for you to kind of map those insights back into a customer journey? And so today, what that looks like is you're able to kind of upload your research files. Our AI then processes all of that raw qualitative data. We, in the background, turn that data into quotes, and then we synthesize them into insights. And in December, we had our big AI launch where we also started to allow people to mine insights. So not only are you someone that uploads research into TheyDo, so are all of your teams. And so how do you actually take what you're learning across an organization and make sure that your customer journeys reflect what you're learning? And so this is kind of the V1 really of what we shipped, as well as being able to summarize from all the nested journeys that you've connected within any part of your framework. And so I'll give you a quick example. So here is a insight that has actually been generated by AI. And in December, what we launched was the ability for us to then say, here are all of your files, here are all of the quotes that are that kind of prove as evidence as to what you've learned about this insight. And part of that was to introduce TheyDo's insight score, which is our way to calculate kind of how much breadth and depth you've captured about this insight. And one of the things we've recently launched is for you to also manually change things like experience impact. So maybe we kind of process this quote in a way that made it more of a pain than a gain. And so this experience impact also supports kind of allowing you to say and override the sentiment of all the research that you're learning. So as we move it up, you'll see our insight score here changing. And this is what we're calling our dynamic insight score. And all of this is kind of allowing you to get a better sense of where are you learning a lot, where are the gaps in your understanding. Part of this is also to then allow you to unlink quotes, so just kind of improving the core functionality of reviewing your transcripts, creating new quotes, and changing experience impact. So that's something that we, I think, launched in the last month or so. And so as you dive into bringing more research into TheyDo, using these tools to then be able to synthesize into your research, this is new things that you can play around with. Let's see, going back to my solution list. We also have done a ton of updates to just small, mighty improvement features. So now when you're playing or adding your metrics to your journeys, you can now do things like choosing how they show up within your journey. You can completely hide all of the journey metrics, small things like this, quality of life fixes. As well as now being able to do some highly requested features like being able to bulk edit groups and tags. So here, as you're kind of bringing in more insights, a lot of insights are created for you. These are some of the things where we're kind of continuously pushing how we can allow you to manage and organize across these different properties. And then, one of the things as part of our December launch, some of you who've been using TheyDo for a while know that we did our big redesign of the product back in December, which is kind of what you're looking at today. Some of the things we're hearing from customers is that a lot of the white space within journeys are really frustrating. And so we're introducing more mechanics to be able to help you quickly organize all of your content within TheyDo. I think in the past couple months, there's a whole lot more that we have been working on, but these are some of the highlights of things customers have been asking for, you all have been asking for, and so wanted to briefly highlight those. As we kind of round out Q1, we are tackling some larger workflows here that I'm really excited to give you a sneak peek. So earlier, kind of talking about us wanting to help build TheyDo into a full data platform, helping to bring a lot more of your qualitative data into integrate into research platforms to bring that data into TheyDo so that you can already have a lot of these insights being mapped for you without you needing to actually create it. And so as we've introduced a lot of this file upload stuff, we're excited to actually announce and share that we're building out our first version of our data hub. So let me actually stop sharing, and I'm going to dive into our dev environment. And this is always risky, but let me see what I can quickly show you just directly live. See how this goes. Give me 1 second. I should have prepared this in advance, but I forgot about pulling this up. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so with being able to bring all of that research back into TheyDo, with our V1, we kind of heard a lot that it was annoying to not be able to see all the files that you uploaded, and kind of being able to do things like deleting the files and manage them, looking at kind of all the quotes that we are processing. So we have our first version of the data hub here. So here, like just very basic stuff of any place where you can manage files. But in the future, what we're currently building is being able to actually create quotes and see all the quotes that of all the research that you're uploading directly into TheyDo. Soon, we will also actually in the end of April also launch the ability for you to upload all of your research files, as well as connect all of that, connect your Qualtrics surveys directly into TheyDo as well. So really excited to see all of this come to light. So let me quickly give you a demo. Sorry, all of these windows. So yeah, a lot of our customers here use Qualtrics to kind of capture surveys like CSAT or NPS. And so we're in the process of building these integrations to actually enable all of your survey data to come directly into TheyDo, which will then process all of the free-form text to then be able to directly mine insights and map those to your journeys. And so this is something that a lot of our teams had been doing manually, right? Copying and pasting from their CSVs or uploading their CSVs and having to process and do a lot of the work on their own. And in about a month's time, you're actually going to have all of these surveys live kind of live within TheyDo. And so on a weekly basis, all of that data will get pushed in. We can then use that data to then create insights for you and map them to the right journeys. And a way for us to do that without even you needing to necessarily initiate those is to introduce automated mining. Today, what insight mining looks like, it's a very simple feature where you can look for different insights of different types that have uploaded from files in the last 7 days or so. With some of our mining improvements that we're tackling also in at the end of this quarter, is to make this experience a little bit more sophisticated. So what we heard in a lot of our feedback was that not only do you want to kind of choose the type of insights that you want to find from all your data within TheyDo, but also to select the specific type of sources and the specific type of quotes that can help you generate kind of all these insights for you. So now that we have built out our first version of Data Hub, you can upload all of your files and then go ahead and mine insights so that all of the synthesis happens for you then to review in the context of your customer journey. So you can start choosing those specific files. And the magic really comes when we kind of marry the Qualtrics surveys as well as this new mining workflow when we introduce automation. I actually think I might have, give me 1 second, I uploaded the wrong screenshot, so I'm gonna look it up in Figma. We'll go from there, sorry. Okay. Let me present my screen. Okay. Sorry, guys. This is always the joy of live demos. Okay, can you see Figma? Yeah, okay. Right, when we say mining, it's being able to look at all the files you've processed, all the quotes that we've pulled from them, and then synthesize them into insights. And so what I was saying before is one of the exciting things that we're only at the beginning of is creating these integrations into your research platforms where because we're kind of continuously bringing in that survey data on a weekly basis and having that be connected to our mining insight flows, we can actually set up automated workflows that can continuously turn those survey data into insights mapped directly to your journeys without you actually having to initiate it. And so this is something we're excited to continue building that is likely to come in Q2. But this is just another one of those things where we as TheyDo feel like there's an opportunity to kind of bring all of this, contextualize what's going on in your business on a regular basis, because our belief is that customer journeys should have a life, and they, in order to do that, they have to have high relevancy. And so this is a really exciting thing that we're going to be tackling as a team to kind of make that happen. Cool. Sorry, almost through. Amazing. And yeah, I think continuing on with some of our data building block management, we're going to be soon introducing archiving, which is something customers also have been asking for a ton, which allows you, again, on the topic of journey relevancy, to ensure that when, you know, the insights that you've captured or the opportunities that you've worked on, once these are solved, where should they live? And so introducing archiving allows you to kind of remove the irrelevant content while also at the same time being able to bring those archived content back as a way to look at kind of the life cycle and timeframes of how your journeys have evolved, right? So once kind of the data that you've used no longer is useful for where your teams are focusing, archive it, and you'll still have access without having to delete that content from the journey. We are also, finally, I'm particularly excited about this one, currently in solution discovery for actually completely redesigning our persona experience. So this has been one of those areas in TheyDo that as a design team, we're like, oh, we're so excited to get back and tackle. So we've heard everyone talk about personas being something that is really critical to contextualize customer journeys, right? It is the people behind these different touch points. And so one of the solutions we're exploring now is we know that personas are used as a storytelling tool, a presentation tool. And so we want to introduce kind of block-like editing to be able to create your persona pages, customize them, and turn them into templates so that your company, your teams can be building personas using a similar structure. So you can imagine this is a block editor similar to what you might see in like Notion, but within the context of TheyDo. So some of the things we're exploring now is not only being able to, you know, add all of your images and quotes and descriptions to your personas, but actually directly linking your building blocks to these persona pages. So you'll see here an example that will have a block for you to add a journey block. So then your persona pages can highlight all of the different journeys that this one persona is connected to. So there's a lot to be explored here. Our teams are actively working on this with a bunch of customers. If this is an area that you're particularly excited to collaborate with us on, feel free to reach out to us. We are, definitely looking for as much partners to co-design this experience as possible. Without any commitment, we're also, looking at how we can redesign our other building block pages to also support this type of flexibility and customization. So when you open up an opportunity, being able to show things like metric data visualizations or link all of the, highlighted quotes for that opportunity, this is a really exciting direction that our team is headed. And so, wanted to give you all a sneak peek because I know personas has been a big topic for a lot of our customers. Okay, done a lot of talking, kind of showed you a little bit of everything, things from really big initiatives to some of our quality of life improvements that we're making. And so, yeah, does anyone have any questions of what they saw? Any questions just around TheyDo more broadly? Happy to answer them. Yeah, Jonathan, go ahead.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. So my question circles around the ability to upload different type of sources of information to mine or to extract,
Yeah.
the insights and so on. So right now, it's great that you can discriminate either if it's an interview or if it's, other type of source. But is there anywhere on the roadmap way that we can prompt those like insights or that we can extract those according to our needs? Because and maybe you can help me as well, giving some advice on how to do it. Pretty much what I'm using TheyDo for is I'm running interviews for enterprise clients, and then I'm
Mhm.
processing the transcript directly through TheyDo. Should I maybe process that through a different AI first and then upload the summarized version of it? Like, what would be your suggestion? And the reason I'm asking that is our product is a software as a service, but it's a
Mhm.
ton of features involved. Like it has thousands of small pieces. So being able to acquire or to get to the specific granular level that we need is essential. So that is the reason I'm asking.
Yeah, if I can ask a follow-up, which is, how are you building out your journeys in They are you at the place of building kind of like singular journeys? Are you guys at the place of building out kind of journey frameworks, which for those of you who still kind of new to the way the product works, is journey frameworks basically having multiple layers of journeys all connected to each other. So your topmost level is typically a journey that is the highest level purview of the company. So it has kind of the goals that you all are tracking at the organizational level, or it basically is like the most summarized version of everything happening. So yeah, Jonathan, help me understand like how you all are organizing your journeys.
So yeah, pretty much I'm trying to build a framework. So right now I'm focused in these specific micro journeys because there's nothing yet. I mean, not like specific per department. So
Mhm.
I'm getting a hard time tracking all of the process end to end. So right now I'm focusing in product, and
Yeah.
then yeah, that's it.
Cool. Let me, I'll share kind of how I would navigate that, and let's see if that helps answer your question. So, right now, when I run research, what I'll do is I'll create a journey and structure the journey in kind of the same way that you might also structure a research plan. So each of the phases is like a different section of my research plan, and each of the steps is like if I'm doing some concept testing, I'll just write out in the step name, for instance, like what exactly I'm testing. Actually, if you give me 1 second, let me just pull up an example of it, and then it'll be easier to have something to point to. Um, yeah, of course. Thanks, Neil. Nice to see you. Signing in really quick. Give me 1 second. These are great questions, though. And yeah, I think that is something that I think us at TheyDo are also kind of figuring it out as they go. And I think this is kind of where it's really exciting for us to be dog fooding this. Like I've asked myself this question as well. Um, I will just share this research and this research journey. What I did was, yeah, you'll see here in the phases, this is all the different parts of the research study. So context, right? So building kind of an understanding of who we're talking to. And then I wanted to kind of do a baseline understanding of how they experience the current experience. And then I started to kind of break it down based off of the different sections of the research that I was asking about. And as you'll see, I even kind of wrote down like the various tasks or the screens that I wanted feedback on. And so what I did here was I actually uploaded through upload files here all of the transcripts for my research, and had them mine all of that from those transcripts. So they processed all the quotes, they created them into insights, and I'll even show you one right here. So yeah, my interview with Ashley, it pulled this quote, and this really helped me to like quickly review all of the insights created just to get a sense of like, oh, does this match kind of what I heard my in my research. And what I did from here, I basically in a journey above this, which is this one, this is our journey where we're tracking all of our AI opportunities and workflows here. I added this research journey to this one, and then I used something called summarize journeys to then summarize all of the insights from across all the transcripts that I uploaded to get the high level themes of what we heard from this research study. So I hope that kind of helps answer your question, but you can play around with getting to the right level of granularity by kind of setting up the structure so that the AI has context for how it should be processing those quotes and synthesizing them into insights. And that becomes kind of the most detailed version of the research that you're hearing. And then as you go higher up and kind of use that journey to summarize, you kind of just, the level of abstraction gets higher. So that's one way to do it. And yeah, I'm curious, Jonathan, that helped answer your question or nudge you in a direction?
Yeah, definitely. Because I was just
Cool.
leaving it blank. So pretty much it was
Yeah.
creating the stages itself. I figured that, I wanted to see how it went, but I didn't know that that would act as a prompt. So appreciate that. Yeah, it does. And then the second question is more like towards the roadmap is, do you see guys in the future, and this is kind of ambitious, an integration with HubSpot in any way?
Um, Let me, I am not familiar with kind of our data integration roadmap right now, but let me ask my team and follow up with you. Cool. Yeah. Data integrations for this year is a really big theme. That is one of the things that we know is a pain point for a lot of our customers, right? You're managing data coming in not only from your research, but also your support logs, your various surveys. You are talking to customers all the time. Your sales and go-to-market teams are talking to customers all that time. And it's really hard to track all of that information and actually make meaning from it. So yeah, we are in early stages with Qualtrics and Databricks and all these things, but yeah, I think any and all integrations we're very open to, and so it's a matter of like how we're sequencing it. But yeah, I'll follow up with you on that tool specifically. Yeah, anyone else? Yeah, hey Annabelle.
Hey, um, I haven't actually used TheyDo a lot before, but it's really clear to me how to get started from scratch and upload scripts. However, for a couple of projects that I'm working on, there's already a lot of history there that I have in my existing journeys.
Yeah.
And so is there a way, or are there best practices to convert that over to TheyDo without having to do everything manually?
Yeah, so where do your current customer journeys live?
In Figma and FigJam.
Yeah, nice. Okay. So Figma and Miro integrations of like making it easier just to go from product to product is something we are also exploring. Our quickest shortcut right now, you can actually copy and paste sticky notes from FigJam directly into TheyDo and in a particular step across a particular lane. So that is, I think, the easiest way to do that for now. some tools allow you, and it really depends in like what tools you used in like a Miro or a FigJam to create your customer journeys. If you happen to be using something like a table, some of the tools allow you to export those tables as CSVs. And if you have that, you can also then import CSVs into TheyDo as well to be able to capture all of those like different content in the lanes as well. So those are our two tricks while we don't have the like direct integration.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. We also have a ton of people that have gone through that process and continuously go through that process. So if you haven't joined the TheyDo community yet, I think it's a great resource. People kind of ask questions like that all the time. We also have a lot of like Learning Center help articles around the like, yeah, going from one platform to the next to help with that. But you can always reach out to me if you need more help. Yeah. Cool. How you doing, Ross? Thanks for being camera on too. Anything particularly exciting that you've seen or heard, or any questions?
Yeah, I love the AI integration. I think that's going to be game changing. Seeing how
Yeah.
we can continuously ingest those insights and be able to change the story. Because I think what you hit on is really important. Is like stories need to live. In order to live, they need blood, and blood is insight. So in order to have that continued flow is paramount. So I'm glad to hear that work can be done behind the scenes to gather great insights and aha moments that may not be the top of mind for the design team, but still are required for a great user experience.
Yeah, absolutely. My my thing that I'm most excited about is because like I was talking about before, like we even internally here, right? We have so many teams that are talking to customers all the time. We have our customer our CSMs, we have our sales folks, and we're talking to customers from all across the spectrum of how where they are in their process of using TheyDo. And like we're also running our own research and product. And so really like the limitation today is really like our brains and our time to be able to actually make sense of that information and use it. Like we're relying a lot on our own gut from when we're in these calls to say, what is the most important thing that our customers are saying? What is really exciting, I think about right now, not even just within TheyDo, but just how AI is evolving, is that it's now possible to process more information and get a summary of that information to then use your own judgment to say, okay, this is where I'm seeing trends. What that looks like eventually with our data integrations and TheyDo is that I'm excited for the moment when TheyDo is able to say, hey, there's actually a whole new area of your business that you didn't realize was a bigger opportunity, right? Imagine being able to discover this region actually has a spike in sales and this is why. And you can replicate this type of like either marketing campaign because you can see what solutions maybe that you ship there and apply it to other places. That partnership of like, hey, identifying things that you don't know is really kind of where we would like to see this evolve into. We're far from that, of course, right now, but I think we can get there relatively quickly, given kind of what's in our plans.
Yeah, well said. As someone came from user testing, I totally appreciate the geographical sensitivity of the experience, and I think that's huge. And a lot of times designers and product managers assume one experience for all, right? Is like the quintessential North American customer, and that's not the approach now. Personalization is where things matter. So I love what you're saying about geographic sensitivity, because that's how brands can really meet people where they're at, rather than meeting everybody in one kind of persona or one kind of tagline.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, coming back to like core of what TheyDo is trying to build right now, it's like in a lot of companies, like your North American team and your Europe team, they're probably talking and they're connecting and they have a lot of touch points, but just because the people have touch points doesn't mean that the data and insights and knowledge is being shared. And with kind of how we're now introducing these like frameworks where more journeys are connected, the data is now more connected, then it'll like than it has ever been. And that's really exciting. It's like that shared information is kind of an unlock for, you know, our teams, and I am seeing in our customers' teams as well.
Agree. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
exciting times.
yeah. I was an early user testing user. I remember doing that like early days of design and was like, oh my gosh, unmoderated user testing. This is so cool. Also, I definitely, as a college student, use user testing as a way to like make some money on the side. So yeah, big user testing fan.
Yeah, it's good beer money.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Cool. Anything else? Anyone else on the call wants to jump in and share? Amazing. Okay, well, I won't keep you from the rest of your evening, your days. One last thing that I wanted to quickly shout out is that we are running a webinar that will show you all that we're launching and related to data management on the 29th of April. So I kind of teased our data hub. I kind of teased what we're doing with file uploading and kind of how that will evolve into this really rich mining experience. But the 29th will actually dive a lot deeper, and you'll hear from the teams that are behind all of this incredible thinking work. And so we'll send out an email to everyone who joined, but just to give a quick heads up that there's a lot more for us to share out. And yeah, just wanted to give you a quick look at it today. So appreciate you all for joining. And yeah, again, my name is Mamie. Add me on LinkedIn, find me on TheyDo community. If there's anything I can ever help with, just let me know.
Thanks, Mamie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mamie.
Talk to y'all
Well done.
later. Bye.
Bye.